Yeah, hi guys, this is Zilla and I'm back again with another quick video. Today is National Samsung Day. Why? Well, Bixby got globally released yesterday. I just received an email confirmation I'm getting this Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 to review in a few days. I also pre-ordered my Samsung Galaxy Note 8 in Midnight Black, the dual SIM version. So basically what I'm going to discuss in this video is simple. Is 6GB really effective in the Note 8? Does it need it? Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my two S8 Plus devices, which I've been testing for months now. One is a 4GB version and the other is the 6GB version. So let's check this out right now and see with my tests what have I proven. Right, to start off with, let's take a look at these two screenshots I took first. The one on the left is the 4GB version, the one on the right is the 6GB version. Both devices running in optimized mode. Both devices having all the apps closed and all background processes closed. Now you can clearly see the 4GB version available space is only 1GB. That's with no apps running in the background. And 635 megabytes is reserved for the system itself. So available space is only 1GB. Now if you look at the 6GB version, we've got available space of 3.2GB and 774 megabytes is reserved. Again, same scenario, running in optimized mode, all apps closed, all background processes minimized as much as possible. So you can clearly see there straight away that 6GB of RAM really does give you extra oomph in your device. So let's move on to this screenshot right now. Again, both have had all their apps closed and I've optimized the operation as much as possible on both. But this time they're running in high performance mode. That's when you put the turbo booster up in your S8 Plus. As you can see clearly, the 4GB version has 1.5GB available. And the 6GB version has 2.6GB of RAM available. So again, you've got about an extra gig of RAM straight away to play with. And bearing in mind, I've closed all the apps in the background. So there is again a big jump there. You have a lot more RAM available when you do start using your apps and so on. Now let's move on to the final screenshot I took of these two beasts. Now on both phones, I really ramped them up. I put them both into high performance mode, 2K screen, opened around 20-30 apps in the background to push them as hard as I can. I know obviously some apps will have closed by themselves because of the way the system is operating, but in the 6GB version, there's a lot more apps that stayed open in the background as opposed to the 4GB version, which is to be expected. Now, let's have a look at the values at the top. Available space on the 4GB version pushed to breaking point is 508 megabytes left over. That's it. The one on the right, the 6GB S8 Plus, that still has 1.1GB of memory, of RAM left open. Now bear in mind, there's more apps open on the 6GB version because it's got that extra RAM to hold them open. Whereas the 4GB version automatically starts shutting apps down in the background to stop the whole system choking up. But even with more apps open, you still got more than double the RAM left. And I did this exercise just to prove I can push it beyond the 4GB. As you can see there, the one on the right is using 4.2 GB, which is If it was only a 4GB model, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere near that, because it needs to keep some in reserve to keep the phone alive. So in my estimation, and from the measuring I've been doing over the last few months, yes, Samsung have done a very good thing here by including 6GB in the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. It's a definite win-win. And another thing, I'll show you these last two screenshots here. I get a lot more battery life on my 6GB model as opposed to my 4GB model. Why do you think that is? This is just a pure guess, I'm not an expert here, but I think having the extra RAM lets the system run more freely, so it doesn't have to do a lot more background processing in terms of managing the apps and trying to close them down. So it increases battery life overall. Anyway guys, that's enough. I've kept this video as short as possible, but I wanted to be as detailed as I could in my explanation. I've got my Note 8 on order, pre-order. I did it while the event was still going on. For those of you in the UK and in Europe, if you go on Samsung's website, they have the single SIM version and the dual SIM version for the same price. So any of you in UK, Europe, head over there if you want the dual SIM version and pick that up. Anyway guys, that's it. It's Zilla saying take care. I'll see you all again real soon, and peace.